to Stitch and Stuff. I'm Sarah, and this is my mom, Kim, also known as Mimi. And we are together this week. We are in Washington State and live about 2.5 to 3 hours apart from each other and haven't seen each other since the beginning of, February.
Valentine's
That's
Day.
unusual for us. We usually see each other every month or two.
Mm-hmm.
And so my mom and dad came over to where we live to visit for the weekend.
We did, and it was long overdue.
So we're really happy to be here together, which won't always happen, but when it can, we'll do it that way.
And this is our video number 2.
So we're glad you're joining us. We hope you enjoyed last week, and we're excited to share our knitting and stitching with you today.
A little bit of everything today.
So, show yours
Let me go.
first.
Okay, so I don't really have a previous fully finished project or a previous finish to show you, but I have a very old previous whip to show you.
You want me to hold it?
Yeah,
forward?
you'll let me hold it up. So this was a Leisure Arts sampler, and I started it in 1994. And I, at the time, thought I would do my kitchen in apples and thought it was really cute, and I never finished it. I'm about halfway done. So this is the pamphlet, very much the 80s and 90s style.
Like the picnic table
Uh-huh.
pattern back.
I still have my floss in a very, very fancy project bag.
This is like exactly how my floss looks in every project I do, just so you know. I learned from the best, I guess.
I did. I have no time for organization.
That's like
So-
literally every single project over here. My floss looks like that.
So I think I will probably try to finish this. I don't know what I'll do with it. Maybe I'll give it to Sarah. She has kind of a farmhouse motif going in her house. So maybe someday I'll get it finished. But I've cleaned out my stitching stuff over the years and reduced, and I've always hung on to this one. So there must be a reason why I did.
Have you thrown away old projects that you started and then you just were like, oh, I'm never going to finish this, and you threw it away?
No, I think I've given you some.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
I have a few, I might have, but they were probably not very nice ones. And I've gotten rid of like pamphlets and magazines that I didn't think I would ever stitch anything out of, but probably not very many projects.
I probably have some of those downstairs I should look through. You've passed
I
some.
think I did.
So I had a previous finish to show this week. This is one of our favorite designers, Misha Pulse, and we have both stitched this now.
We have. It's what brought me back to stitching.
And I love it. It's just so sweet. And I pull it out. This is my second spring, I think, to have it, that I just put it up in the house, framed it just really easily. I think I did foam pour before I knew how to do sticky board. So there's like pins all through here. So you can tell it's not like not framed super well, but you know, it's the best I could do. And it still looks really cute. So anyway.
So cute.
So she has a series of these. Does it have all the seasons now?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I have actually stitched all 4 of them, but only one of mine is finished.
I'm almost done
Fully
stitching,
finished.
I think, the summer one.
Yeah.
So,
They're very cute.
so just like last week, we have some visitors, some guests. So my daughters, I have 3 daughters if you missed last week, and they all stitch and knit, so they are here with projects to show you. So maybe I just scoot over a little. Come on over.
I'm going to bring one at a time.
Yeah, one girl at a time, maybe.
Okay.
You say your name?
I'm Liddy.
Liddy is 10. She's my oldest girl. And show us what you have to share today.
You have to tell us.
Who made this for you?
This is...
I did make it.
Mimi made this for me.
Mm-hmm. And it's held many different projects.
It's a little project bag, right? So it looks like you're showing knitting today, right?
This is your knitting.
I'm
Mhm.
showing knitting today.
Keep going. Sorry.
So, it's a little doll scarf.
You're
Yeah.
making it for your doll? Your American Girl doll?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And then I made this scarf for myself. It's a Hogwarts scarf.
What house?
Gryffindor.
Gryffindor scarf.
Why did you make it?
I was being Ginny Weasley for Halloween.
Yep, Liddy was Ginny Weasley for Halloween. And
Last
she
year.
worked really hard on that this last fall and got it all done.
Yeah.
With a little help from me. It looks
Hard.
great. But you did most of it yourself. Good job.
Okay.
Okay, Millie, you want to come over? Okay, So I'm going to get to learn how to do editing this week because our video got messed up. So we're back and still going. So Liddy finished sharing. Millie, you ready? Okay.
Granddaughter number 2 or daughter number 2.
Come on, tell us what you have. Nice and loud.
I made a scarf for my doll. And a
Yeah.
shawl.
You knit a little shawl.
A crescent
for your
shaped
doll.
shawl.
Yeah, it's really cute. This was a free pattern. And I thought ahead of time, I don't think I need to look up any pattern names. But I didn't think about what the girls were doing.
We'll put it down below.
I'll find it and link it down below. It's a free pattern that we found online, probably through Ravelry, but I don't know where exactly I found it. And you made that for your special dolly, Susie. And you've made some good progress on your cross stitching this week.
I'm gonna bring it up.
Tell us what you've stitched. What did you work on?
Right here.
The grass?
The grass.
This.
Oh, the stem of that flower.
And the flowers on
And the flower. All the purple flowers, too?
And this.
Yeah. You were working really hard on that this week.
And what pattern? What was this? Who made this pattern? This kit?
Remember where we got
Do you
this?
remember?
Shepherd's bush.
This is Shepherd's Bush, and it's a kit that you can buy with all of the things. Is there a button that goes on it at the end? There's a button, and it came with all the floss and the needles.
Very cute.
It's really cute. You've been working hard on that. Okay, Rosie. Rosie has a previous finish to show us.
She
This
found
was her very first knitting project that she ever made, and it's a little tiny washcloth. And she did a good job. She has nice even stitches.
You did do a good job on that.
What's your favorite color in this washcloth? Which one do you like the best? You like the purple part? It's cute.
Okay. Good
Good
job.
job. Thanks for joining us, girls.
Love you.
I told them this week they needed to exit when I said it was time to exit.
They did.
And they did. Last time.
Because Poppy's here to take them for a walk this time.
Yeah, my dad is filling in and jumping in, and they're going to go have fun without us. So we have our whips for ourselves next.
You want me to go first?
You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll
And
go
do
first.
all your whips first?
Yes. So it was supposed to be Mania, the last week of Mania, and I didn't have anything planned for the 29th, the 30th, or the 31st. So I kind of had free days that day. And I really, actually, because I haven't shown these at all previously, I'll just go ahead and go over them real quick. Even though I did work on Mr. Delicious.
Oh.
I think I got his feathers done.
You don't have a picture of
I
this
do.
pattern?
Mhm.
Oh, you do.
Yep. So it's by Lindy Stitches, which I think some of her patterns, a lot of them, most of them are just adorable.
So cute.
And I think I mentioned last week that my goal is to have a turkey dough bowl for Thanksgiving this year. I also actually just want to have seasonal dough bowls eventually. So a couple other projects I have going will be pillows first, like September, October, before I put the turkeys out.
And you're going to do the pumpkin and everything?
I'm doing everything. Although the words Mr. Delicious, I don't know. I might leave those off. Amy Loves Toads did this, and she did Mr. Delicious on a separate piece, I believe, and stitched it on the back of her pillow. So if I can figure out how to do that, I might do that. But otherwise, I want to keep it kind of small.
And you're going to do Mrs. Delicious?
And I'm going to
too?
do Mrs. Delicious too, but maybe not this year.
Really cute.
She's actually very, very cute. Then I don't know if I mentioned, I think I mentioned last week, maybe not. Maybe I mentioned it when I was interviewed by Jan Hicks, that this was one of my manias. Starts was Snowflower Diaries, Autumn Glory. I fell in love with this picture. And the problem I had with it when I started it earlier this month was I don't have the NPS silks. So I really did not like that orange at all. And I didn't see very much of I didn't look very hard for a conversion. So I kind of got out I did find some conversions online finally, and I did go through my limited fancy floss stash, and I put together some color combinations. They're not very, anyway. So I am hoping to start this over again, only I'm going to start it on the bottom side of the fabric, so I'm not having to rip that out, because I don't feel like ripping it out. So I do still hope to stitch this this summer. I don't think it'll take long once I figure out what my color combinations are.
Is the orange of the letters the same as the
Yeah.
orange of the pumpkin?
Yeah, and I don't like that either.
Oh.
I didn't really look at the colors. When I pulled the DMC flosses, I always thought, oh, they'll be really close. But
This is the fragrant cloves is the one I was thinking you should
Yes,
do.
that's
I
what
love
I-
that orange.
I'm
That'll be
picking
really cute for a
fragrant.
pumpkin.
And then actually some of the letters are greenish and some of them are orangish. So I pulled out some greens to try.
Oh yeah, like that.
I thought it was a variegated, but it's actually two different threads when I looked at the pattern. I should have looked at it better.
Yeah.
And I pulled out a couple different maroons and corals because I didn't like
Just
very
to
much.
try different
Yeah,
ones.
so I've got a plan because I still really want to stitch her. I think she's really cute.
She is cute. I love those snowflower diary ones.
They are very cute. So that is hopefully going to be happening soon. I did work on this Mania start. It's not a start, I'm sorry. It's a very, very old whip. It's a shepherd's bush, and the pattern actually is from 1996. I'm stitching the bottom design, the girl. So I started it, I'm pretty sure, in 1996.
Yes, I'm sure. There we go.
For some reason, I stitched the button on, and I stitched it on very, very tightly before I finished the border, and I don't know why I did that. Because when I picked this up again,
Oh.
I had just done part of this border, and I've started them every other heart, and I did these, and that's all I did on it. I really
You
don't
were
like.
just really excited about the button.
I must have been really excited about the button. I have no idea. I would never have done that normally. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I really love it. When I stitched this at the time, we had a formal living room and a kind of a family room. In my formal living room, Christmas decorations were in pinks and golds and kind of more
Maroon.
formal looking. So this would have really gone in there very well. We don't have that. That room is now our bedroom. And so we only have one room that I decorate for Christmas, and it's more of the greens and reds and kind of a
This
country
would still
style.
look cute in your room now, though.
My bedroom?
Yeah.
It
at
would,
Christmas time.
and I probably would put it in my bedroom
Decorate it for
or
your-
put it in the den, which is now going to be my work office because I'm not going back to work to my regular office for a long time. So I think I'm just stalled on it because I don't really like borders. I just get, they kind of, I love how they look. They just kind of bore me when I'm stitching them.
It's a theme. It's a theme.
It's a theme.
Stitching.
This is a new start, and this is another Misha Pulse, and it was one of her earlier designs. It is this adorable
I
little
should have pulled this
alphabet.
one out to show.
Sarah's-
I stitched this already a long time ago. This was the first thing from her that I stitched from Alicia.
and I bought special linen, it is a 32 count iced cappuccino because it's quite large. So I really just
It is
have
big.
the A and the B done. And I think once I get going on it, it will go fast. I mean,
Mhm.
I like little motifs. I feel like
Yeah,
you
it
have a
goes
little
fast.
finish every night. So
Yeah, that's a really cute one.
I really love this. And I'm hoping that eventually I'll have a sewing room to put it up in when we have people leave our house and free up some bedrooms. And then just two more real quick. This one, I worked on this was another dramatic piece for me this week. It's not a good color picture. It's Halloween Squirrel. I love this pattern. I love
Her
all the
designs are so
flosses. I loved my beautiful grungy fabric that I did until I went to do his little tail. And his little tail, can you get
Yeah.
it closer? Is so light. It's a beautiful color floss, but it just does not show up on my fabric. And anything that I looked at,
Is it this?
it's the light,
Right.
yeah. It just
Yeah,
isn't
it
going to
really
show up.
doesn't
And
hardly
the
show
other problem is that the adult squirrel, whoops, over here has a lot of that same color in it. So even if I fudged it a little bit on the little squirrel, I was going to have to figure out what to do on the big
Yeah.
squirrel.
See how
So I
light it
kind of
is.
put out in Facebook what people thought. I had several different, I went through lots of DMC. I had my DMC all spread out.
Every night I was like getting a call. I just don't know what to do about his tail. I've tried this color.
I didn't know what to do. So somebody on Facebook said, why don't you go with a brown, more of a brown? So I did pick Sticks and Twigs. And I haven't started it on there.
Yeah, because that's not too brown.
No, and I
don't
think
know if the
it'll
color is
go
showing
okay with his little face. Because his face is kind of a gray brown.
Yeah, I think that'll be cute.
Yeah. So I hope this definitely I want done by buy them
See if
fall
I can
tube.
kind of bunch it in together.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with the brownish look.
Okay, this is going to be a learning curve for me. How to do this?
It's
Reverse, because
we are
my
not
screen is like mirror. It's not mirroring,
we're not terribly coordinated people.
so I don't know which way to move.
So
Yeah, that'll look really cute.
yeah, I need it to show up because, like I said, Mama Squirrel or Daddy Squirrel has a lot of that color in them, and I just
Yeah, that'll look really cute.
I wish I had a lot more Classic Color Works and not Weeks, but Gentle Arts in my stash that I could have pulled from, and I probably have more than I know I do because it's in projects.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one that I worked on the most this week because it's the most finished, and it's called Autumn's Ride by Shelley Alwyn. She has a lot of real primitive.
So cute.
I love her stuff is PDFs, so you can order, download them right away. So this was supposed to have been a Mania start last year, but I kind of flaked out at the end. So yeah, I dyed this fabric
It's
and I
really
tea-dyed it. And as you can see, all I've got left, if I show you the pattern, is just the lamb. I just have the lamb and the girl that's sitting on him.
Oh yeah.
And then, so let me see if you can see that. There you go.
Yeah, the
She's
little
riding
girl.
the sheep. Yeah. So, and that's going to be a pillow because I do have some fallish. I have a couple
Look
more
how
of hers.
Nicely that's modeled with the tea dye, and I don't always get that nice modeling.
Oh,
when I
it's
do.
just love.
That's really
I have
nice.
2 others by her that I'm going to do also into pillows, but I'm not going to show them because I'll show them when I do them. But they're quick. They don't call for a lot of different colors, and if I just work on them, then I can get them done pretty quick. The finishing will take me a while, and that is all I really worked on this week.
Okay.
So you're up, Sarah.
Okay. Do you want to do your knitting whip now or
yeah.
later?
I can do. Are you going to do knitting today?
I have a knitting whip.
We can do our knitting after we do our cross stitch.
Okay. So I pulled out all the things I worked on for Mania this week, and I don't know what order I did them in, but I'll just show. So my favorite one that I stitched almost every day, whether it was kind of on my schedule or not, was the Milk and Cream Company, Milk and Cream Co. by Plum Street. And I am really pleased with the progress. So last week, I think I showed this.
Oh my gosh.
Did I show this last week?
You did, but you just had a couple trees and it's part of the sky, but you've got the roof done.
I got the little cow in the corner, and the roof I got done yesterday, and I'm doing it back and forth with the called for, I think it's black coffee. And I don't know if it's showing up, but I like how it's looking. It looks kind of like stripes of shingles.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I did color substitute this. So if you're stitching this and yours looks different than mine, I'm using Otter Creek. I think Otter Creek. And I can't remember why I did that, except, why did I do that? Maybe I just didn't want to buy another overdyed thread, I think. So I just picked something I already had from a previous project. So that's the one I've probably made the most obvious progress on, because I just love it. I think it's so cute. I'm kind of saving the little girl, the woman or the girl for last, or the big cow. Like I kind of stitching the small things around because I'm looking forward to that a lot.
And an update, their mama cow has not had her baby yet.
No baby yet. And no, we have a pregnant cat too. No kittens. So eventually maybe we'll have some babies to show you.
We're staying here till Tuesday, so I'm hoping that somebody gives birth while I'm here.
Maybe there will be babies of some kind before they leave. This is Farmer's Market from Told in a Garden, and I am modifying it quite heavily because I am just not big into like Amish. But I bought this when we went to Stitch and Stuff. I mentioned that we went to the store.
No, Shepherd's Bush.
We're Stitch and Stuff. I went to Shepherd's Bush last year, and my husband saw this stitched up on the wall, and he usually takes no interest in my stitching. He just humors me when I talk about it, but for some reason he just loved, I think he really likes sort of more primitive folk art, and this, he said, I think you should stitch that.
It's very folk art.
So I'm trying to find a way to modify from all the, I don't stitch Amish stuff. Some people are really into that. I'm just not particularly. Mm-hmm. So have I showed this? I didn't show this last week.
I don't think you did.
So
hold it while you talk.
Hold it. So like for example, here, pull it this way a little. Over next to the barn looks like some buggies, and I'm gonna make them into flower pots. So I kind of kept the same basic design, but I'm going to just have like piles of flowers sort of spilling out, or maybe just sunflowers or something going up. And then the little dolls down here that are for sale, where are they? Are like Amish looking dolls, and I changed them to just little girls. And then the main thing I worked on this week was this person. So you can see it's a woman right below the barn there. I'm trying to modify her to just look like a woman with brown hair and a dress. Kind of like a blue dress going down. So I'm keeping the same basic shape, but changing it around a little. So I'm just updating the people to look like, and you can see too on the barn, it looks like there's silhouettes of people in the barn having an auction, and I just switched it and made closed barn doors, just because I don't know, I just didn't want to stick to the pattern. I rarely modify patterns, and I am getting more into like color switching, but most of the time I stick.
And the lady that she's modifying, it's the back. I don't know if you can see. It's the back of her. She's like
walking away from the, towards the barn.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't really tell. It looks like she has an apron and a head covering on, and I'm just switching to give her longer hair. So I'm going to kind of try to do that with all the different people, but I'll just tackle it as I come to it.
Did you leave the quilts the same?
I am doing the quilts all the same colors. I'm basically keeping most of the colors the same, although I did choose a different red for the barn.
Quilts are adorable.
For a brighter red than the pattern called for. So I didn't work on that a lot this week. Partly it takes a little more thought and effort when I'm stitching this one because I'm at the point where I need to start stitching some of the people, and I'm not like a very creative, like I don't just spontaneously come up with creations.
Changing patterns is new.
Modify. Yeah, it's kind of a new thing for me. Oh, I don't have a picture of this because it's a dimensions kit and it didn't come with a picture.
What's it called?
It's called Valley of the River Beck. I think it's a famous painting that they've made into
Let me look it up real quick so see if we can see it.
Yeah, so we can show it.
Valley.
I forgot that this one didn't have a photo.
Valley. Oh, it didn't have a cover? I'm sorry, Valley of the what?
River Beck?
River Beck.
I think that's right. I guess I could look at the
cross stitch
pattern because
I think I got
it. You follow it? It's dimensions.
Yep, sorry guys.
It's one of their gold collection.
Okay.
So it's kind of a big piece.
Of course, my internet is not, it's loading. My Wi-Fi here is not very good. I was going to try to make it bigger.
Maybe we can just zoom it or something.
There we go.
Maybe I'll just, oops. Now it clicked away. That's okay, I'll just zoom in there. No, the other one was better.
It's like a full coverage
piece. It's a pretty full coverage piece.
It's like a tapestry.
It is. And there's...
You've got the glare.
Yeah, is that better? So this is the finished, that's somebody's finished piece. That just
so it's like a village,
So yeah, there's like a bridge and a water and a house. And I started this, I think, in the fall. And I was kind of had a goal of finishing it all this year, but I haven't stitched it enough to finish it by the end of 2020.
What's going to fit on this? I guess, yeah.
Yeah, it's a big piece. So it is really just a long-term project. And so I feel like there are weeks that I do a lot on this, and I think I did some of these tree trunks, and it's not a lot of fun stitching those random colors. So I just kind of do it a little at a time. It's more fun to stitch the house and the chimney. But there is a lot of background in this.
Is there a bunch of half? Oh, there's a bunch of half stitches too.
It's a lot of it's a lot of 3-stranded stitching. Is this on? You think 14? I don't.
I think that looks like 16.
16 count maybe. Mm-hmm. And so I'm kind of like pulling the 3 strands through. But I do like how the 3 strands make it really. Yeah. It fills up every hole. It does really tight. So it is like a tapestry.
Yeah, it feels like a tapestry. It feels like when my grandma used to needlepoint.
Needlepoint feeling. So I found that the whole kit at our Goodwill for like $5, and my girls are always like, "Is that the pattern that's like? Is that the kit that's like $100 if you buy it new, Mom?" Because we Googled it. I was just curious, and it is worth not $100, but like on eBay the kit was going for quite a bit at that time. So they're always excited when I pull that one out. This one I'm gonna have to just fold, and then this was a new start this week. This is a Snowflower's Diary, just like Mom's stitching that other one. And I totally did my own colors on this because I don't have silks either. And I didn't love all the DMC. They just didn't have that same as you were doing. Like they're just not as vibrant, and part of the joy of this pattern is how vibrant it is. So I'm stitching it on a really dark I don't think did I show you this at all?
I haven't seen this at all.
And all I did this week was pumpkins.
What color are you using for the orange?
I'm using 435 for the words.
Okay.
And that might be one of the called for. I did stick with a few of the called for colors. And then for the oranges of the pumpkins and some of the flowers, I'm using bittersweet, which is really similar to the.
These are actually
they're Nina's.
There's
threads.
Nina's threads.
That's right.
Yeah.
They're not NPS. They're Nina's, and I don't have.
I think when I googled,
it's a mixture.
Oh, sorry. When I googled,
it's actually a free pattern, so it probably isn't that big a deal. So if you're interested in that one, you can find that on her blog, or you can go to the Snowflower Diaries Facebook group, and she has files, and I can't remember exactly. I think I found this one on her blog. So it's called Pumpkins. What's it called?
Pumpkins for Kathy.
Kathy, yeah.
It might be on her Etsy too.
Why do I always think it's called Maya's Pumpkins?
I don't know.
That's what I wrote down in my planner.
But I was going to say that if somebody has a pattern with NPS silks and they don't have them, I did just Google like the NPS, and then I think I put in whatever name it was, and people have actually uploaded for different ones, like with three, like almost like a card, and it has like 3 different options, or like you can blend threads to get that same look. So that was really helpful.
So that's a nice option.
But I don't know about Nina's threads.
I don't. I didn't even really research it. I just wanted to stitch this one. It was a little free pattern, and I thought I would just use what I had. And I love it on that dark fabric. I think it'll really pop those bright colors.
Autumny.
Oh, I will not always have this many whips.
No,
I just
it's
do
only
because
of
mania. I just planned out my whips.
And our videos will not always be an hour long.
No, I don't know how long this one is going.
But we'll try to zip it up.
This is another one I worked on this week, Lily Violet, which you'll see a finished one in a little while. No, wait.
Not today.
No, not today.
I got to fully finish it.
That's right.
Then I'll show it.
But this one is so cute. The colors are just really pretty, really bright. And it calls for all DMC, so these vibrant colors are coming from all the different DMC combinations.
And I think almost all of her patterns, as Lily Violet,
I love it so much.
Are just
Lily
DMC.
Violet. This is called Raccolto di Primavera. And, I just love it. I got a lot of the brown on this basket.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? I gotta just pay attention to what I'm doing, not what the camera says. So I got a lot of this brown down here, and I didn't do much else with that. I just stitched it one day for a little bit. I love doing this one. And I'm just doing it on Ada.
Her patterns are just very sweet and whimsical. 1, 2, 3 Stitch has them, but I also went to her, I think it was her Etsy shop, and I found a few there that were not on 1, 2, 3 Stitch, that I really liked.
More of hers.
Yeah, she's got a lot of seasonal things.
I really like it.
Cute.
I haven't even really looked her up. I just was stitching that because you gave it to me, and I loved it when you stitched it.
Yeah, I think I ordered one just recently.
That's my last bit. Things of Spring by Misha Pulse. This is similar to the ABC one that you're doing, with all the little motifs, and it's so cute. I love it.
And this is going to be a seasonal series by her. She's going to, in fact, she just on Instagram put out a little peek of her winter.
Oh,
no. Fall.
No. What was it?
One of them.
Another season. And
it was adorable. And they will be kits to start with. And then she always has just a PDF pattern you can buy if you don't want to buy the kit.
So I've been working this week on, I really didn't get very much done on this one either. Like I said, I worked on Milk and Cream more and just kind of put chunks of stitches in.
Look at that little sweater.
That sweater is so cute.
The little design,
and she designs knitting patterns and stuff too. She probably could design a sweater that looked just like this, and I would love it. So I really just worked on the white of that sweater. I love it. So those are all of my whips. That was a lot.
I got a lot done.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, a lot more done than I did.
Just in the evenings when we're zoning out in front of Parks and Rec. Parks and Rec doesn't take a lot of visual attention.
No, it does
I can do a lot of stitching.
It does not. Okay. What's next on our agenda?
Haul next haul.
Oh, should I do our knitting?
Oh, yeah, knitting.
So, we both knit. Right now, I feel like my knitting mojo has been a little bit.
It's kind of like we're either really knitting or really cross-stitching.
I don't know why. I thought, I'm under quarantine, I'm working, and then I've got all this time after work, and I've hardly knit anything. But I did support my local yarn stores. So, the first thing I want to show you, and I really want to give her a plug, is this gorgeous, gorgeous yarn by Buxom Cat Knits. She is a local indie dyer in Washington, and I really want to support her. Right, like in December, she opened her first little actual shop, and now she's been closed since March. So she barely got going, and so she opened up her Etsy shop, and she hand dyes. I think her Etsy shop only has stuff that she's dyed, but in her store she's got all kinds of gorgeous yarn. And she named this one Strange Stay Home Brew, and I don't know if it's still available or not, but I loved it. My other favorite yarn store over in Gig Harbor is called Rainy Day Yarns, and the gal that opened that shop now has her sister working with her, and her sister and the owner of the shop actually both dye yarns. Sun Soaked Sister is the sister, and she uses all I think she does natural stuff to dye. So her yarns are usually does it say what she dyed it in?
Veggies, but she doesn't say what veggies.
It's called
Glorious Rhubarb.
Glorious
so
Rhubarb.
I would bet she used rhubarb.
Her color palettes are very muted and really, really soft and pretty, and I
Really
think that's
pretty.
got alpaca in it.
Yeah, it does.
I have a couple
Alpaca
skeins of
merino.
hers, and they're like in my precious yarn stash that
Yeah, what are you going to do with this?
I don't know, something. And I'm knitting again. I did start knitting, and we have an addition coming to our family. My daughter-in-law is having her first baby. I can't say what gender it is yet because they haven't announced that to the world. But I am knitting her the baby little sweater. And the pattern, is not got a fancy name or anything. The pattern is just called, I think it's just called Cardigan. It's just called Cardigan by Florence Merlin. And Florence Merlin is I believe, a French designer. And her pattern, I would not recommend it necessarily for a beginning knitter because she assumes you know stuff. She doesn't I've been knitting for 10 years, and I've kind of had to look at this and go, what does she want me to do? But I'm on my way. And
the yoke.
It's so cute. It's like a raglan. And I'm using what's called Herbst Twined. Herbst Twined. It's a German yarn, and it is merino extra fine wool.
Really,
and it's a deep purple. It's
like
very
itchy
soft
or anything.
Yeah, I really love it. So
really cute.
I've actually started. I had to figure out where I had left off a couple months ago and figure out where I was, and now I'm on my way. So it won't take long. Baby sweaters go fast.
That makes me think of the color of one of those sweaters you knit for the girls. That's Sorella.
Yep.
That was very cute.
So that is my knitting.
Oh, my knitting is a pair of just very simple vanilla socks. In fact, I think that's the name of the pattern is Vanilla Socks. And I don't know who the design. I don't remember who the designer is.
Is it a free pattern?
Should give it. I don't even have the pattern with me because it fell out, and I think it's up in my bedroom. I'll link it below, though. It was a free pattern, and I have one sock done, so maybe I should show you that first. So I'm using. Oh, geez, I didn't plan. I'm using Regia Perfect, and it is a self-striping yarn, so that you can knit one sock, and then it's organized so that you can start your other sock at the end of the yellow. Like if you find the yellow strand inside the ball as you pull it out. So this is the outside, but there was one wound inside. So you pull it until you find that yellow, and that's where you start your second sock.
I always wondered how that worked.
That's how it works. So you know that your socks will be matching, and you won't have those funky
that's really
offset
cool.
stripes. It is really cool, and it was perfect. And really, I didn't end up wasting a lot of yarn.
To start your new one?
There was just this much left. Oh yeah, so here you can even see. So this is the end. After I finished knitting this sock, and I finished the toe, and I just started pulling out blue and winding it as I went, eventually I came to this yellow, greeny yellow, and then there was a strip of yellow like that.
So it gives you
quite
a bit
of
yarn.
I had plenty of yarn left if I was making a bigger sock, but not like I didn't feel like I was just wasting yarn as I was going down to the other side. So that was my knitting.
Okay.
I haven't knit a lot lately. It's hard. It's really hot here right now. In fact, we have the fans going. We were worried about the noise.
It's very hot.
Hopefully it's not too bad.
I think it was 96 yesterday when we got here.
And in my house we have air conditioning in a couple of bedrooms, just window units, but it's an old farmhouse and we haven't updated and put in like a big system for that. So next is haul.
My stitching haul is I have not stitched a Rosewood Manor, I don't believe, ever. And I hadn't really looked at a lot of those her patterns, but Jessie Marie Does Stuff was talking, I believe, way back about her mania plans.
Oh.
And she brought this pattern up as a possibility, and she did start it, and it's gorgeous.
Oh.
And there was just something about it.
Yeah.
The saying says, "There is always music amongst the trees in the garden, but our hearts must be very quiet to hear it." And it's actually going to be quite a big piece if I don't do it on a small count. But I loved it, and so I tracked it down. And since then, I've looked at Rosewood Manor's other patterns. It is big.
245 by 122 stitches. That's pretty big.
Yeah, it's going to be big.
Big.
She's got like a chrysanthemum sampler. She's got a sunflower sampler that I hope someday to stitch.
I thought maybe you had it kitted up with this pink, but
No,
the
not
pink
big
probably
enough.
wouldn't. Yeah,
But
and it might not show up.
I have been buying fabric since quarantine. I think, like I said, I don't know, one of my videos, either last week or on Jan Hicks's interview with me, it's Luminous Fiber, Misty Purcell's, and I think this was her Snow Day, which is really popular. It's hard. I've never been able to get a piece of it, and I finally got a
I
piece.
don't know if you can see. There's like really delicate modeling.
It's
of
just
a lighter blue-gray.
Yeah, and it's such a nice
I don't know
feel
how that's
to it.
turning out.
I think she did her Prairie Schooler button up on it, and it's so cute.
Oh, yeah.
Then, because I was watching lots of different floss tubes and looking at different things over the last couple of months, I started realizing, because for a while, 123 Stitch had kind of not very much fabric on their website, and I didn't have a big fabric stash. Somebody had mentioned an Etsy shop called Hollis Hands Creates, and so I took a gamble and ordered from her, and I bought this beautiful pink, and it is called, it's an R&R in the pink 32 count. It's an R&R. I don't know.
It's a little bit bright light coming in the window, so I don't know if it's showing how.
Nothing behind it helps. It's just it's a pretty pink.
Yeah, I don't know if it's really because of the light behind. I think it's just so bright. But it's a little bit darker than it's showing up on my camera.
It's a little bit rosy.
But it's really pretty.
And this is just a Zweigart Flax 32 count. And I just wanted to get some bigger pieces to have in my stash because I bought like a lot of fat eighths and fat quarters. And this was actually, what size did I get? Uh-oh, did I lose the tag on it?
Oh, did it come off just now?
It should just come off. Anyway, oh, there it is. She didn't put what the measurement is, but it's definitely probably a half. Maybe. Yeah. So that was my haul this week.
Those are nice.
Yeah.
I only have a little haul, and it was a gift from my mom, so I didn't order anything.
I don't think when I sent it, I was 100% sure we were going to come over this week.
Oh yeah, we got a little care package from my mom, and then they were coming over the next day. But they'd already sent it. This was from Priscilla and Chelsea. What's the gal's name? Well,
it's an Etsy shop.
How are we forgetting her name? I know it.
We'll link it below.
We'll link it below. Apparently, we know where we need to grow, I guess. So this is one of the What's in Your Cup series that Priscilla has designed, and then
it's a little fob.
This person that I am. Sorry, my computer is doing something strange. She's designed all these little scissor fobs. I think I'm gonna get a ring and then put my floss, use it for a floss organizer for one of my favorite little projects.
Yeah.
So that's all I have to share for haul today. Not very exciting.
I brought you a pattern.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, it was one of those primitive ones.
Yes.
We'll share it next week.
I'll share it next week. That's right. I do have haul. Oh well, next week. Next, I have written down a shout out for someone we watched this week that we enjoyed their video.
I, for a while, since quarantine, started watching. I think she's kind of a new Flosstuber. Her name is Barbara's Daughter. Her actual real name is Kim, but everybody knows her as Barbara's Daughter. And she, just a really nice, easy watching, easy listening Flosstube. She does a lot of beautiful samplers. She just finished Lady of the Flag. It is, except for the beading, and it is stunning. It's just stunning. I think she finished it as part of her mania. And her mom is a sewist, and every one of Kim's projects are in beautiful project bags that her mom just makes her. She doesn't make them to sell. She just makes them for her daughter for her cross-stitch projects. Anyway, she's giving one away this last week, but I looked. I don't think I won it.
Where's my project bags?
What project bags?
The ones that my mom is going to make for me.
I'm not sewing. I can't even find my sewing machine right now.
I didn't show you all, but mine are all in those sheet protectors still. I don't have any
Project bags.
I should probably just get what you have.
I really like these.
I know.
If you're
I
on
think
a
I'll just get
budget or you just want to spend your money on other stuff, these are on Amazon. There's different
Because
sizes.
the problem with sheet protectors is this is what happens all the time.
These were not.
It's not really my. These are dollar store sheet protectors. It was really my
So
budget.
they're really budget.
Not only budget, but also quarantine. Like the only place I went this month was Costco and the dollar store.
Okay.
So I had to find something that
I have to tell you, we weren't going to talk
living.
about this much, but I ventured out for the first time this last week. I've been basically not going to any stores, and I really wanted to send something for the girls in that care package. So I thought, well, I'll just run to the local dollar store. How bad can it be? Well, I don't go to the dollar store very often, and I had my mask
like
on.
of all places, why would you?
I don't know.
Go
It was close to home, and we were out. I don't know what we had done. Anyway, so I went in. I had my mask on. It's fabric. It's cotton, and it is so warm. I can hardly stand to have it on. And I walked in, and the sun. It was a warm day for us back on my side of the mountains, and the sun shines right into the front of that store. And they didn't have AC on because they're remodeling. So I could barely handle 10 minutes in that store. And as I was walking down and I'm trying not to touch anything more than I have to touch, I hear a mother on the other aisle screaming at her child, no, don't put your mouth on that. Don't put your mouth on that. And I just shuddered, and I thought, I don't want to go out yet. This is too stressful, and I don't know what that child just put their mouth on, but I hope I don't touch it. But anyway, dollar store, very bargain. And if that's all you got to go to.
That's what you got.
Yeah.
That's what you
But
got.
Amazon, also bargain. I think I paid $12 for 12 of these or something. They come in a big.
Well, I paid $1 for like 50 of those, so.
But some child may have drooled on them.
That's true. Well, they were in a package.
Anyway, I do like these. And I've had these for a year. The zippers have held up.
You have put many projects in there.
I mean, if I ever really wanted a fabric bag, I would use it. I just don't. I've just spent my money on fabric and charts.
Stuff you're sending me.
Yeah. So
my shout out was this is another new Flosstuber. I think I watched her first one, and I think it was the only one that she has out. Her Flosstube name is Stitching All Night Long, and I didn't write down what her actual name is, but she had some really beautiful projects, and I really enjoyed watching that.
I didn't know about her.
Yeah, it was somebody who was recommended on my YouTube. It just popped up, so I thought. I think I was making dinner one night, and I just put it on and was enjoying having that go while I was making dinner on the counter. So
I should do that.
I forgot to.
I could get a lot more watching done.
No, I didn't forget to grab the giveaway. Okay, it's right here.
Okay.
Let's see. Last but not least, we have a giveaway this week. We can't guarantee we'll have one every week, but maybe we will. Maybe.
You never know.
We're hoping to be able to do that. And this week we're giving away a pattern that I'm already stitching. And the pattern is this cute Christmassy one. And I pronounced it last week because I showed mine in Italian. And I'm trying to decide if I want to go for it again.
And somebody said it was good.
Yeah,
somebody
one of
commented
my
that your
friends
Italian
said
was good.
My Italian was pretty good. She didn't quite say good. She said it was pretty close. So anyway, it's called Non è Natale senza albero di Natale. And I don't even know what that means. I should maybe research that.
Christmas.
It's from, it's definitely Natale is Christmas. I know that. And that's the only word in there that I know.
And the saying on it says it's not Christmas without a Christmas tree.
It actually says without Christmas tree.
Oh.
They forgot the A. And I actually am not going to stitch the words on mine just because I don't want to, but we're going to give this pattern away. We have a brand new one to give away, and it's from Flora Baticlore. So we're getting Peanut Gallery over there.
We're going to wrap this
Go
up.
away, Peanut Gallery.
So
our giveaway, if you want to enter the giveaway, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and please leave a comment. Somewhere in your comment, if you use the word Christmas, whether you maybe answer whether you like to stitch Christmas or a favorite Christmas pattern, just mention Christmas. We know it's not Christmas time, but we are giving away a Christmassy pattern.
Because it's 96 degrees here.
Because we're longing for Christmas already. So leave a comment that says Christmas, and we'll use that to enter for our random giveaway. Don't say giveaway. Don't say free.
None of that.
And
please leave comments, because now that we are doing this, What?
It was so fun.
It's fun to get comments, and I realize that I need to comment more on people's because I like them, but I don't always comment. So
Yeah,
now I'm
me
going to be a
too.
better commenter.
It was in, yeah.
Oh, and we need to give your husband a shout out.
Oh, yeah. So the other night I was in a meeting on Zoom, and I came out of the meeting, and he said, I want you to come see this. And he had designed the little intro that you hopefully see at the beginning of this video.
Hopefully we can
Hopefully,
figure out
I
how to
know.
get it on
He
there.
said he'll help me put it on and stuff. And the other thing, I've noticed that my computer is kind of shaking from the table, so we'll problem solve that for next time. Every time we
Yeah.
move. So I'm aware, and we'll fix that.
We'll get better. Sorry.
Next time I'll probably actually be in a different room. We won't be here. We'll have to do it distance.
We'll have to be zooming for a while.
But thanks for joining us. It's fun to get to chat in person too.
Yeah.
And then
We hope you all stay well, safe. We know things are opening up, so just be smart and happy stitching.
happy stitching.